tangata uta, he tiaki atu ki tangata tai. Ka hura tangata tai, he tiaki atu ki tangata uta. Pērā koa te wāhi o te toitoi awa whakamoe ko tūko rongo ki te whakatauira mai mai e. Mai te tupua, mai te tawhita, mai te kāhui o Ngāri, mai tawhiwi ki ngā atu. Ui, ka tākina te mauri a hua noa ki rua ki wene.
At the moment, maybe a wee bit hungry.
To me, Whakairo is our writing, our beliefs that were handed down, and our knowledge that has been handed down. Yeah.
What is carving? Well, I mean, it's kind of everything. You know, it's a cultural vessel to hold knowledge. It wasn't really just a piece of art, you know. They didn't really just carve stuff because it looked cool. There was always a story. There was always a purpose, really, for whatever you were carving.
It's about creating a visual aid to the topics of conversation that we have, a way of remembering, a way of recognising an abstract view.
Whai and Te Warahi are two of New Zealand's most respected, creative, innovative tōhuna whakairo or carvers. It was just fantastic to have them on board. Whai's work is already represented at Scott Base. He carved that very significant navigator of the heavens, Te Kai Whakatere o Te Raki, that stands in front of Scott Base.
I got involved through my father. He happened to get a phone call, asked if I wanted to go. I jumped at it. The idea of it was just out of this world.
Yeah, it's Whakairo.
I wanted him to get to feel and understand, mainly to feel the place.
This conversation needs to happen around climate change, around science, around Indigenous knowledge, and around all of humanity working together.
Whai and Te Warahi guided us in what the story was to be about. We had a general theme, but the challenge was we had very limited time, and so we had to start the mahi without having the full story. Being down there too really made us connect with the kaupapa more, and the kaupapa evolved. I think the intention was for us to go down and be inspired by the environment and the place down there. And conversations with different people really impacted on the story. One person that really impacted on my side of the story was Regina.
I really enjoyed meeting James on the ice and being able to share why we do the work that we do. And you can hear my accent, I'm not from New Zealand originally. One thing I'm super excited about is to understand better traditional forms of knowledge, especially around the whale.
We started just talking about the whales and what her mahi was and how fragile that ecosystem is. For me, I connected with her kōrero, and I think she might have connected with ours too. The link with the network of life under the ice. Yeah, that was a prime example of modern science having an impact on what I was going to do. It all kind of went click. I was like, oh, pūna were then. The spider's web, that's the pattern that I need to do. Really quite intrinsic, delicate, but actually very strong. It was kind of quite beautiful. It evolved like it was meant to, I think. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
As a scientist, it's all about the connections between the different species and how the ecosystem as a whole works.
Let's say it's variable winds, you might want to make a whole circle with a little tiny entrance towards the side here.
The Whakairo was installed at Scott Base as an entrance, knowing that everyone would pass through that doorway. Whoever you are, you would be welcomed.
Kia tau te mauri i runga i wēnei tauira. Kia tau te mauri i runga i tēnei whakawai. I tēnā whakawai, a ko te pare i runga i te kuaha nei.
I think from an Indigenous perspective, yeah, we're pretty much about environment, and really it's just emphasising the connection that we have with the land. Just a different way of looking at things.
This symbolises Papatūānuku, and what she is wrapped in is a korowai or a cloak. Ideally, this cloak would be covering the whole of her. We should not be seeing any forms of Papatūānuku. Because we can see forms of Papatūānuku, it depicts that something's not quite right with the environment. The design on here, these 4 scales, the geology, flora, fauna, and the 4th scale represents man. The name of that is Te Una Hi Whakapiripiri ki Te Ika Nui a Maui. If you were to break away one of these scales, it sets a huge imbalance in Papatūānuku. Down the bottom here, so I added this another una here, a really, really big one. So that was my bit of inspiration. It looks like some of those pressure ridges that are out there.
These 2 manaia, it carries on from Potama's wera or challenge, you know, the looking after her, that to keep on talking. Our world leaders need to keep on talking to preserve not only this place, but to, you know, start nurturing Papatūānuku a bit more. This here is Te Marama, the moon, and also talking to Regina about the moon. We're talking about our maramataka, what we call our seasonal calendar. Our days, our seasons are more guided by the moon and the seasonal change rather than a 7-day sort of week. It affects the water, it affects us, you know, it affects everything.
The name of this design is called the kupinga. Its story is around using an open cast net to only take or catch what you need, leaving what you don't need behind.
A taiaha is a weapon of war. Putting this foot piece on, lashed on here, it becomes a cord. It's no longer a taiaha. core is a tool that's used to help nurture, to help provide. Essentially a digging tool. You use it like a spade. This is a challenge for not just for us, but on behalf of the Indigenous people of the world, to say to the world leaders to put down your tools of destruction and start nurturing the planet, start nurturing the animals, start nurturing mankind.
Everyone that passes through here, purpose really is that we'll become one whānau, you know, all working together to the common cause.
What common values do we have in relation to looking after the Ross Sea Marine Protected Area and looking after Antarctica and the planet, of course, more broadly? And you can see that in the work that James and Potama have done. There was something really special about this project. It's a really beautiful way of thinking about the meaning of what we do, the value of scientific work. How do we come together to actually protect for future generations?
I think an important thing that I've learnt down here is everyone's sort of sharing their knowledge. I suppose some of our Indigenous people might have something to share as well.
My innermost being is screaming out that people take heed, that they take on the essence of Wairua. Our people relied on that heavily, because I think from that we can start moving forward.
E tukuna no te whai oro tāne te wai ora, a tēnei te matatau kia eke, a whakatū tārewa ki te rangi, uhi, wero, a tau mai te mauri a hunge hui, taiki e.
6 months on from the ice, I always get asked, you know, what was it like? Well, it must have been amazing, and I find it very hard to explain. The vastness of the place, the pureness of the place. The story is still there, it'll be there for a long time. And, you know, if it impacts one person, that's our job done. If it impacts more, that's even better, you know.
Since coming back from Antarctica, I think about it every day. Trying to explain it to people is quite tricky because it's just, yeah, it's absolutely another world.